Our first colligative property we are going to see is a relative lowering of vapor pressure. So now let's say for example you take, maybe I'll draw this here, a beaker of water, okay, and we are going to add non-volatile solute. Non-volatile solute means it doesn't go into vapor phase easily, okay. Not a thing. When you have non-volatile solute, maybe I can draw my solute with blue in color. So the solute particles are right here, and also some of them are on the surface. So by adding a non-volatile solute, what we have done is we have decreased the amount of surface area of the pure solvent. So if you decrease the amount of surface area, the amount of solvent that can go into vapor phase also decreases. Hence, by adding a non-volatile solute, your vapor pressure of the pure solvent decreases. So vapor pressure of the pure solvent can be written as P naught S. Okay, we can use it PS as well, it's okay. P naught S would be proportional to mole fraction of the solvent, which is A for us. Okay, we can use A here as well if you want. Mole fraction of the solvent. So the vapor pressure of the solvent is proportional to how much solvent is present, mole fraction of the solvent. Now we are going to look into the lowering of vapor pressure. So let's say for example our initial vapor pressure of pure solvent is P naught A, and when I add the solute I form a solution. The vapor pressure of the solution is PS. Okay. So this is the lowering of vapor pressure. I am going to talk about relative lowering, meaning compared to my pure vapor pressure. So pure vapor pressure minus the solution vapor pressure will give me how much the vapor pressure has gone down by adding a non-volatile solute. So this is lowering of vapor pressure. When I compare it to my P naught A, this becomes relative lowering of vapor pressure. So the relative lowering of vapor pressure in our case would be equal to chi of B, solute. Okay, again pure vapor pressure is proportional to A. How much the vapor pressure goes down is proportional to chi of B, solute. Okay, I understand A is our solvent, B is our solute, S is our solution. So chi of B. Now this is the formula or expression for relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now this can come mathematically. I can write my chi of B as my moles of B divided by moles of A plus moles of B. Okay. Now I can further expand this into moles of B is mass of B divided by molecular mass of B divided by mass of A molecular mass of A plus mass of B molecular mass of B, that equals this. I can also write the top portion as delta P, change in vapor pressure divided by P naught A, relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now this formula they can have any quantity that is unknown by giving you all the other quantities. I can simplify the formula. So this is one way of writing the formula. Let's simplify this. This can be written as P naught A divided by P naught A minus PS divided by P naught A. So basically what I have done is A minus B divided by A is A by A minus B by A, okay, common denominator. Now this helps me in getting it into 1 minus PS divided by P naught A, that equals chi B. Now we can write this as, if I take PS by P naught on one side, this comes to this side, this goes to this side, this becomes negative. I have written this side. 1 minus chi B is chi A. So these are all the ways you can express. Okay. Chi A, I can again write it this way. That's one way of writing it. The other formula that you want to know, most of the time the pattern of question that you are going to see is straight out of this formula. They'll ask you the molecular weight of solute. This will be the unknown. If this is the unknown, this formula is useless. This is when they are asking something about solution. If they are asking something about solvent, okay, I can use this. If I ask something about solute, I have to figure out. But the problem with this formula is I have the unknown in two different places. So what we can do, we can rearrange the formula. Okay. Now when they ask you molecular weight of solute, go for this one. I have my starting formula. P naught A minus Ps divided by P naught A equals moles B divided by moles A plus moles B. Okay. The trick here is flip both the sides. So I have P naught A divided by P naught A minus Ps equals Na plus Nb divided by Nb. Now this is easier. This becomes Na by Nb plus 1. Fair enough. Now what I have done is I have made my Nb, which comes in two places, come in only one place. So my unknown is going to be only in one place. Okay. Now what we can do? We can do it this way. Na by Nb, which I want, equals 1 goes to the other side, P naught A minus P naught A minus 1. The 1 has gone to the other side. Okay. Now we can write this as P naught A minus P naught A plus Ps divided by P naught A minus Ps, that equals Ps divided by P naught A minus Ps. And over here I have mass of A divided by molar mass of A divided by mass of B divided by molar mass of B. Now if this is my unknown, I can actually rearrange this if you want. Denominator of denominator goes to the numerator. Wa times molar mass of B divided by Wb times molar mass of A equals Ps by P naught A minus Ps. Okay. Now if suppose our unknown is MWB, that equals this quantity times these two divided by this. You can take everything to the other side. It's much easier that way. Now thing to be careful is you don't memorize any of this. You don't memorize this formula. If you memorize it, you're bound to make a mistake. The best thing is just remember this. This is enough. If this is a question, if they ask you the molecular weight of B, you can do this really fast. If this is a question, they ask you molecular weight of A, you can do this. What if this is a question, they give you all this, they ask you this. So memorizing too many formulas, you are bound to make memory mistakes. So try not to memorize it. This is just really fast. Okay. Now there is a short trick that you can do. If suppose the solution is extremely dilute, how do you know when your chi B is very low or your Nb is very low? Okay. If extremely dilute, then I can say my moles of A is much larger than my moles of B. Okay. Now P naught A minus Ps divided by P naught A equals, what can I do? Nb divided by Na approximately, because Na plus Nb, because Na is much larger, Na plus Nb is approximately equal to Na. So Nb by Na is mass B divided by molar mass B times molar mass A divided by mass A. Now I can do my calculation of MWB. Okay, when do you do this? When do you do this? Both can use to calculate MWB. Okay, this will always give you the right answer. This is not going to give you the exact answer because you made an approximation right here. But when can I approximate? What if I am calculating my molar mass? How do I know this is true? Very simple, these numbers will tell you. If suppose your amount of solute is extremely low, the vapor pressure doesn't change much, meaning P naught A and Ps are very, very close to each other. Imagine that you have a bowl of water, you add salt to it, vapor pressure decreases. How much does it decrease? Proportional to the amount of salt you add. If you didn't add a lot of salt, you added very, very little, the vapor pressure didn't change much. So my initial vapor pressure and solution vapor pressure will be close. So either these numbers have to be given if you have to calculate this. If these numbers are very, very close, they don't change a lot, let's say 5% or less, I can make this approximation. Even 10% you can make the approximation, because your molecular weight you calculate by approximating will be close to the one of the options only, not to many options. Now, either these two numbers are close, or if they tell you that the change in vapor pressure is low. Now, if I say, for example, change in vapor pressure is 5 millimeters, is it low or not? We cannot just like that decide 5 is small or big number. 5 compared to what? If this is 750 or 760 millimeter of mercury, this is 5 millimeter of mercury, meaning it is extremely low. Compared to 765 is a small number, so I can make this approximation. What if the change in vapor pressure is 100? 100 is significant out of 760. Roughly, you can talk about 7.5%. Okay, so we don't want to be dealing with this approximation. Okay, this is how this whole molecular formula calculation is going to come. Many years, if you solve all your previous year questions, you will see all the patterns. Let's look into a problem. The vapor pressure of pure benzene at a certain temperature is 640 millimeters mercury. A non-volatile solid weighing 2.175 gram is added to 39.0 grams of benzene. The vapor pressure of the solution is 600 millimeters of mercury. What is the molecular mass of the solid substance? This is an IIT question. Math is a little bit higher level compared to NEET level. In NEET, the numbers are much simpler, but still anyways we will do. I have tabulated the values with appropriate symbols. They are asking you what is the molecular mass of the solute, the molecular mass of solvent or benzene. This is something you have to remember. It comes for many examples in NEET and JEE. It's a very good solvent for calculation purposes. Now, what we know from relative lowering of vapor pressure is P naught A minus Ps divided by P naught A is moles B divided by moles A plus moles B. They are asking you molecular mass of A. So, right away I can flip the equation. P naught A divided by P naught A minus Ps equals, if I flip the equation, I will get Na by Nb plus 1. We just saw how to do this. Now, this would be equal to mass A over molar mass A times molar mass B divided by mass B plus 1, I take it on the other side, P naught A minus P naught A minus Ps minus 1. Okay. Now, let's put the values that they have given. P naught A is 640 divided by 640 minus 600 is 40 minus 1 equals weight of A is 39, molecular weight of A is 78, molecular weight of B is my unknown divided by weight of B is 2.175 grams. Now we have to rearrange it. Now you can approximate actually a lot in these. Now let's see, you can approximate a lot in calculations in NEET particularly, JEE to a certain extent. Now 640 divided by 40, so 0 zeros goes away, 64 by 4. 64 by 4 is a very simple one. This is going to be 16. Correct? 16 minus 1. So now nicely this has become a round number, 15. equals, this is 1 by 2 times molecular mass of B divided by 2.175. So I am going to write my molecular mass of B equals 15 times 2 times 2.175. So that's 30 times 2.175 or 3 times 22. 66 gram per mole. Now obviously I made a small assumption here, so I am multiplying by a larger number than what it is. So my answer would be larger than what the actual number is. So just go for something that is a little bit lower than this. I have not made much difference. So you can take it as 21 if you want. Okay, 3 times 21, 63. So the answer is going to be between 63 and 66. Straightforward calculation. Again, I did not remember my calculation right here. I did not remember this. I always start here, I change accordingly. With practice, you will be able to do this. Let's do one more. The mass of a non-volatile solute of molecular mass 40, which should be dissolved in 114 grams of octane to reduce its vapor pressure to 80% will be. And 4 options are given. This is a really different type of problem and actually it is in NEET level. It's a really interesting question. The quantity that is being asked is different. They have given you the molecular mass, they are asking you the mass, and also the vapor pressure change is given in different quantity. Here you have to be very careful. There are 2 ways in English that you have to know. The vapor pressure is reduced to by and the vapor pressure is reduced to 2. Okay. Here the vapor pressure is reduced to 280. The best way to remember this is, for example, a weight. You can reduce your weight to, let's say for example, a person is to start with is 65 kilograms, they reduced it to 60 kilograms, they lost 5 kgs. Or you can say the person is 65, they reduced their weight by 10 kilograms, meaning their new weight is 55, the change in weight is 10. So you have to be very careful. Similarly, vapor pressure is reduced to 80%. Okay, so now what we know is delta P divided by P naught A equals chi B. This we know. So the new weight is 80% of what you have. So the difference between them, so if you have gone from 100 to 80, the difference is 20. So even though they give you the vapor pressure as reduced to 80%, the change is actually 20 out of 100. So this is the only way you can complicate relative lowering of vapor pressure. They have reduced it by 20 so that 100 becomes 80. That equals chi B. So this is going to be pretty straightforward. Now here it's a significant change, 20 is 20%, so I cannot approximate. So I can do moles B divided by moles A plus moles B. And remember, we can do our trick again. I can make it flip both sides, 100 by 20, Na by Nb plus 1, or Na by Nb, I am taking it on the left side, this is 5, 5 goes to the other side, 5 minus 1 is 4. Na by Nb is mass of A, molar mass of A divided by mass of B, molar mass of B is 4. Now what we can do is mass of A is 114 divided by 114, mass over molar mass divided by the mass is mass of my B, which is my unknown, divided by molar mass of B, that's given as 40 equals 4. Denominator goes to the numerator, 114 by 114 is 1. So 40 by WB is 4, WB is 10.
Let's do just a last problem. Vapor pressure of CCl4 at 25 degrees Celsius is given as 143 millimeters mercury. 0.5 grams of a non-volatile solute. They don't tell you the identity. Some random solute of molecular mass 65 is dissolved in 100 mils of CCl4. Find the vapor pressure. So right away it tells you that vapor pressure of pure CCl4 is 143 millimeters mercury. So this would be our P naught. And they are asking you what is PS. Now what we know is P0 minus Ps divided by P0 equals our mole fraction chi of B. Here our mole fraction can be written as moles of B divided by moles of A plus moles of B. So P0 is given as 143. I can also write it as 1 minus Ps by P0 equals mass of B over molar mass of B divided by mass of A over molar mass of A plus mass of B over molar mass of B. Now if I substitute the values, I get 1 minus Ps divided by 143 equals, the mass of solute is given as 0.5 divided by 65 mass of A. So they have given you density and then volume. Density equals mass over volume. So my mass is density times volume. Density is 1.58 gram per centimeter cube times my volume is 100 mils. Mils and centimeter cube cancel out. So 158 grams. Molar mass of CCl4. So if we calculate roughly, so this is 4 times 35.5 and this is 12. If we calculate roughly, we can say it is roughly 158. You don't need to do exactly, I just want to round the numbers. So this is 35.5 times 4 will give you 142 plus 12, 154. I am approximating 158 plus 0.5 by 65. Now 0.5 by 65 is nothing but 1 by 130, and this multiplying numerator and denominator by 2 to make it 0.5 times 2 is 1, 65 times 2 is 130. 1 by 130 is a very small number. So if I do 158 by 158, which is 1 plus 1 by 130, this is approximately going to equal 1 by 130, because this is 1 plus a small number is 1 by 130. So I have 1 minus Ps by 143 is 1 by 130. Now that tells me Ps by 143 equals 1 minus 1 by 130, that equals 129 by 130, roughly 1. So now I know that Ps by 143 is 1, Ps equals roughly 143. Alright, now I have this, you got to be careful. We have made assumptions. I have a number right here, I have a number right here, these two are wrong. Now which ones do I choose? It's actually pretty straightforward. A pure solvent as 143. So when I add a solute, the vapor pressure has to go down because P0 is always greater than Ps, relative lowering of vapor pressure. So I want to choose a value that is lower than 143, that is 141.43, or this one. Straightforward. Now as I told you, the same formula is going to be repeated over and over. If you look at previous equations, it's actually pretty simple except for the math part. So you have to practice your math. Okay, that's all it is for relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now let's see the next colligative property in the next video lecture. Thank you guys.